Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of July 27th through August 2nd. And during that time, we'll have a waxing crescent moon. And a waxing crescent is a really good time of heightened senses. It's just like clear-headed time to focus and buckle down and work on things. So all of those new projects and things that you've started on the new moon, it's just time to really focus in on those things. We do have a first quarter moon that comes in on August 2nd, and that could be a time where you feel impulsive, impatient. Your mind's active. It's kind of hard to settle down, but I do think that falls on the weekend. So hopefully you're not having to work through that. But if you do, just know that that's around the bend for you. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Virgo. So of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. All right, and your overall message for this reading: believe in the impossible. All right, Virgo, let's see what you guys have going on this week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to let you know my weekly reminder this week is that you take time to meditate. Still yourself, still your mind and body. Just get quiet and go in there and explore. So if meditation is not something that you do, might just be a good week to try to incorporate it into your routine. Even if it's just a little bit of time every day. Some people are calmer and can go for a little bit longer. I tend to be very hyper. So the idea of me sitting still for 5 minutes is like, oh, I kind of have to push myself to do it because the rewards are definitely there. So please keep that in mind and try to work meditation into your routine this week if you can. All right. Virgo, July 27th through August 2nd. Believe in the impossible. Let's see what you guys have going on. All right, Six of Pentacles. So typically when this card comes out, when I'm reading for someone, I ask them to look at it and tell me what's going on. So I will give you just a moment to do that right now. What is going on in this card for you? So some people will answer, well, obviously this person is giving. And some people will answer, well, obviously these people are receiving. So whatever was your first instinct is kind of where you sit in this situation. Are you in giving mode right now? Are you able to give to others? And not only, of course it's Pentacles, so of course it can mean financially, but also of your time and energy. Or are you in receiving mode? Are you in a place where you're needing a little bit from others around you of this? So, and whichever is fine. Sometimes receiving can be harder than giving, especially for a Virgo, right? Who tend to be kind of perfectionistic. So if you're in receiving mode right now, it's okay. Just appreciate that, and appreciate the people around you that are able to give of themselves to you. And if you're in giving mode, continue being generous. Your current situation is the King of Cups. So, you're in a place where you're knowledgeable about your own emotions and how things work, how things are working right now for you emotionally. We're not always like that. There, there's that kind of goes up and down with a curve, right? Like, as we learn about ourselves. But it looks like you're in a place where you're just knowledgeable about, okay, this is why I react emotionally to this, that, or the other, but also the people in your kingdom. And how they are reacting in an emotional way. So keep that in mind as you're moving through your week. Also, that you're just kind of having that awareness. At the root of your situation this week is some indecision here with the Two of Swords. So it looks like you might be thinking, mulling over something that's coming up. You're doing it in a very calm way, but kind of mulling over some decision that's 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 being um, that's being put at you. We'll see as the cards come out what that might be. In your recent past is the Judgment card. So it looks like you've recently come to some sort of the Judgment card is about having new awareness, and it's usually because information is coming in. This is about the truth. This can be about kind of evaluation as you learn new things, you come to new awareness, right? So this is things coming to the surface. This could be some sort of an awakening, but some information has come to you that's put you kind of at a decision point. and you're not quite ready to make a decision, but you're at least in that, you continue to be in that evaluation and awareness mode, or this, this evaluation time that you've been in has brought this new awareness. And so it's like, okay, I need to make a decision on something here. On your mind this week is the Seven of Swords. So, this can be a card of cunning. This can be a card of theft, hidden agenda. And, is it on your mind to have a hidden agenda? Is this something that you're mulling over? Is this somewhere in that decision point? Are you going to be able to be completely, honest and exposed, emotionally? Are you able to be open like that? Or is there something that you need to kind of hold back? Sometimes I see, because this is air energy, did you say a couple of things and you're taking the rest of your swords and moving on? You didn't really lay it all out there. Are you holding back a little bit? And that appears to be something that's on your mind too. So I'm sure you're asking yourself, am I holding back? Am I being completely open and honest in whatever situation you happen to be in? What is just ahead of you here is the Ace of Cups. So an outpouring of yourself. And maybe that's what this is. Maybe you're thinking about that you're holding back a little bit. And this might be at the decision point that you're at, is, this is two very different things, is an outpouring of your heart, of, opening yourself up to being vulnerable, where this one is a little more closed, right? That you're kind of holding things back, not saying exactly the things that you want to for some reason, but believe in the impossible. So whatever that impossible thing might be for you right now, and maybe it could be emotional. Maybe the impossible thing is that you could open up your heart like that and someone would really understand you. That it's just never happened for you before. But believe in the impossible. Maybe that's something that you're struggling with right now, and it's something to think about. In your advice position is the Emperor. So be the leader, be someone who's ready to manifest something, to build something. This is definitely someone who is skilled in something, established, doing something in a systematic and structured way. So that's maybe the way that you need to approach this decision point that you're at here. What is beyond your control this week is the Wheel of Fortune. So, this is evolvement. Not only is you've got this judgment that comes in, which brings you a new awareness, but now you're going to take that information and evolve into something new. Again, if it's this decision point, then either direction that you choose, it evolves you left or right, right? So, I think when you make a decision to lead in whatever way, and it could be, look how very similar this King of Cups and the Emperor card is. So can you take a leadership role in, when it comes to those emotions, and kind of open your heart? What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Empress. So that's interesting. So the 2 points of this, and this will be your big question of the week: are you trying to avoid, this is the ultimate creativity. Typically this is a card of pregnancy, so it's the card of creating life, of conceiving something, of being plentiful, wealth, abundance, accumulating things, just really sitting in a place where you're able to manifest things. So yeah, some people, they would actually manifest life when it comes to this card, but the other thing is that it's something long term. So maybe something that you're engaging with creatively, that, it doesn't produce a baby, but it's something that you're going to make the commitment with long term. That you're It's not something that you engage in for a day. This is something that you make the commitment to engage with, for weeks, months, and some cases even years. So are you trying to avoid that sort of engagement, on creativity, or is it your secret desire? That'll be your big question of the week. Very interesting there. And your outcome card is the Three of Cups. So whatever decision you make, whatever path you go on here, I think you're going to celebrate. You've got, we've got quite a few major arcana cards on the table. Anytime I see three or more, I think that this isn't just a little normal blip of a week for you. This is a little higher energetic and higher life-changing decisions that you're making. It's not really even giving me a realm, because we've got almost all of the elements present here, but what I don't see is a wand. So maybe we'll see what's hidden from you this week. Maybe there's a wand under here. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is why I love tarot. Things coming in very quickly, and that's hidden from you. So this tells me this is kind of a slow week, but maybe passion is something that you're not even considering. What is the fire? What is the fire that drives you? What is the fire that's going to make you believe in the impossible, or allow the impossible to even happen? So very interesting. Again, it's not giving me a particular realm, Virgo, for which this happens. So that means that this could be templated over many different situations with different Virgos. This could be about a love life. This could be about something with your job, with a passion project, with some material thing that you're going through. So make sure that you're applying that template to the different areas of your life where it is. But it looks like you're going to celebrate. You're either going to celebrate this decision, or you're going to celebrate this indecision and be like, it's okay. That's fine to sit in a place where you haven't made a decision yet until literally all the cards are out on the table. I would want you to look up angel number 33 with those two threes appearing right there. Anytime we have repeating number patterns, see if that angel number means something to you. Let's get a final word here for Virgo. Final message for Virgo as they move on this impossible path and get to this decision point. Choose friends wisely. Okay, so could be something having to do with, for some of you, some friendship, relationship, something that's going on. Or have you met someone new? Have you someone that are you like, I can't believe I can open up and talk to this person and they totally get me? So think of that. For some of you, that might be the situation. Let's look at what Virgo needs to do in the way of self-care this week. Virgo, for self-care, how do we need to have the Virgos take care of themselves this week? And the card that you get for this week is Speak Up. If you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself. And look, this card here, the 7, again, is this about saying some things but not completely opening up? And I think maybe that'll be your big decision here, is do you completely open up to just be truthful, to be honest, or are you kind of holding things back? But if you avoid conflict to keep the peace, you start a war inside yourself, is the saying there. So that makes sense. I would believe in the impossible. And again, I'm not even sure if you get to the end of this decision point by the end of the week. This may flow into next week also, but Virgo, I wish you the best of luck with this situation, whatever it may be and wherever it may occur in your life. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know, what sort of conflict and decision point are you at? Did it have something to do with friends? Did you meet a new friend? Is there, something that you're trying to believe in the impossible? And really remember to take a look at this Empress card. Are you ready to make some sort of long-term commitment to something creative? And although this could be a friendship, for the months and years down the road, or are you trying to avoid that? So that'll be your big question of the week. Anyway, I do post weekly readings. Come back next week and we'll see if there's a new message here for you or if this situation continues on. Also, if you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. Not only will it help my channel, but it'll also help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Virgo. Good luck with this situation and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.